To all the Palestinian students, the displaced, the starved, the grieving, the silenced, to those whose dreams were shattered mid-sentence, whose classrooms turned into rubble, whose futures were buried before they could begin, this book is for you. To carry your voice beyond the checkpoints, cross borders, and into the hearts of the world. In spring 2026, Gallery North in Hailsham, East Sussex, hosted an exhibition featuring poems and artwork created by students from Gaza. Much of the work was produced while the students were living through the recent genocide and struggling to continue their educations. When universities in Gaza were forced to close, staff from the University of Sussex and educators from across East Sussex came together to support students whose studies had been interrupted. Over the past 2 years, they had delivered online lessons and seminars in subjects including English, science, and medicine, helping hundreds of students continue their learning despite the destruction of their universities. It was through these sessions that We're Still Here, an anthology of resilience, grief, and unshattered hope emerged. The book brings together poems, short stories, essays, and personal testimonies written during the past 2 years of violence. The writing is raw and immediate, documenting experiences of displacement, loss, and survival amid the ongoing war, starvation, and blockade. The exhibition brings together a selection of the students' poems alongside visual materials from the anthology. All proceeds from the book sales going directly to support the university students in Gaza. Alongside the students' writing, the exhibition featured new work by Sussex artists who responded to the anthology. These included paintings, music, textiles, and mixed media pieces exploring themes of hope, grief, memory, and resistance. The exhibition also included an installation by Art Block, a Brighton-based art group focused on solidarity and providing a platform for Palestinian voices and seeing art as protest. Together, the works created a space of reflection and solidarity, bringing Gazan student voices into a conversation with the local creative community in East Sussex and inviting visitors to engage with the realities of student life in Gaza through art and storytelling. Cool. So I'm going to talk now. So usually I'm behind the camera. Today I'm in front of the camera. So I've actually written down. So here we go. Okay. So thanks everyone for coming. What's my friend doing? Thank you everyone for coming. I'm going to say a few words about the exhibition, about the book, and why I think this sort of thing is important. So as we all know, Palestine has been under occupation for decades. The apartheid state of Israel has been committing ethnic cleansing of Palestinian land for a long time. There's been countless war crimes, acts of colonial barbarism, and today's genocide is just the most recent atrocity. Something I've been thinking about in the past couple of years is that when you think about genocide, you often imagine it's just the killing of one particular group of people. But it's much, much more than that. A genocide involves the destruction of people's culture, the erasure of their language, the destruction of their art, the burning of their libraries, and an attempt to deny their history ever existed. That's why I think projects like this, We're Still Here, are really important. These poems, these artworks help preserve Palestinian voices in the face of total annihilation. So I first got involved in being interested in Palestine, working on Palestine, through a good friend of mine, Maysa Shakir. So Maysa is an academic. She's from occupied East Jerusalem. She used to work at IDS. There were some IDS people here, but she left. And she is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. How I got involved in We're Still Here is actually through another good friend of mine, Zahed. So, how did I meet Zahed? So I worked in life sciences for a year doing comms website stuff. We were supposed to be talking about the website, our horrible Sussex University website. And after about 2 minutes of talking about whatever it was, we started talking about Palestine. We talked about Palestine and how traditional power structures have completely failed. So the UN has become powerless in the face of this colonial genocide. How every single university in Gaza has been bombed. How our government, Keir Starmer's government, is continuing to sell weapons to the genocidal state of Israel. How we're continuing to allow the Americans to use our air bases in Cyprus, air bases that are currently still being used to bomb Iran. So Zahid and I talked about this and how our own university, the University of Sussex, failed to condemn what Israel has been doing. Even while every single university of Gaza has been razed to the ground in an act of scholasticide. Okay, this is what I'm about to call it. So I really like punk rock, and I really like the punk rock ideology of do it yourself, this DIY in this culture. If you think that there's a problem in the world, if you think the traditional power structure is failing, you have an obligation to change it. You can't just sit around waiting for things to happen. You have to do it yourself. I work with lots of academics, a lot of researchers, and the ones that really matter, the ones that I think are really important, hold the philosophy that a philosopher has hitherto interpreted the world. The point is to change it. So when Zahid and I met, he started telling me about this education project that he'd been getting off the ground, or trying to get off the ground, bringing different people together to try to continue the education of Palestinians, their education obviously interrupted by the genocide. Everyone was talking about it, it was all in the news, people writing different papers, but no one seemed to be doing anything. So yeah, we decided to do something, do it yourself. From there, I met Jake Norris, who can't be here today, sadly. Here I met some of the amazing teachers, organisers who've been organising all the education of the Palestinian students. It's been really inspiring to work with these students. We do it all for them. It's all for the Palestinian students. Every penny, all the effort we put in is all for the students. I really want to thank Emma and Gallery North because they've given us this space for free. And it is absolutely wonderful what you've done. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Yes. And also all of the contributing artists as well. So there's 15, 20 contributing artists, I think, from the local community. There's a few here today, which is wonderful. Thank you so much for contributing your work. I should also say that the University of Sussex has done much better on Palestine. So we have these 7 scholarships now for the students in Gaza. Some in Mott here today, or have been here, and it is amazing to speak in front of a student from Gaza. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your presence. Now I need to wrap up. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for listening. All that good stuff. Maybe I'll stay spaced on 20 years.
So yeah, thanks again for everyone for coming. And I'd like to maybe introduce just the upstairs room, which is part of this exhibition, and I was invited to contribute with some work. So it sort of ties in together the, let's say, the protest that's been happening in Brighton or mostly, and the idea was of bring using artworks, fine art, to bring it to protests. So it's been printed on placards and then taken to protest, and the response was pretty moving, and then that developed into having some Palestinian artists to show their work, and again for the people to, obviously on marches there's massive audience as well, so it opens up the audience to the artists to be seen. And again, it's lovely to see the connections with people who, let's say, carry the placard, and then they feel really sort of moved by that as well. That people who see it often as a very, very big response to that, and then together with obviously the whole movement, and we also incorporated the ribbons, so the projects and their names about the children that were killed. So that room sort of brings together a bit of that action that we do for Palestinian people, maybe show the solidarity, because obviously it can be very despairing to just watch what's happening, and trying to do our bit, a little bit, and I think that room is trying to show that, and also again to show the Palestinian art and also our response. So I liked how that connected with the local artists as well. That so they're sort of our art as well, and then connects with the art of Palestinian artists and the students, and that's really nice for me that it all comes together in this one place. Because sometimes it's more like just Instagram posts, and it's sort of you don't really have that physical coming together. So I think this is really nice that we have the poetry, the books here, then the actual art of the local artists, and then in the art block room, it sort of brings together the art, but also the protest stuff movement that's happening. So yeah, and the response was great. I really appreciate all the messages that the visitors left. So that's all for the students. So yeah, that would be hopefully really nice as well for people to read.
To see my people like doing something like this, it's been like not connected to this place. And what is the first? This whole like, but this thing really made me like. I remembered my people. I sometimes you the life keeping you busy doing everything, but this thing like actually it's making me like, oh, thinking about the past, think about my people more than this. Like, not my like, not let my study like let me forget everything. No, I'm just thinking about my people, and this is thing like all even the sequence of the art there. I love it. It's like it's amazing. All the thing I can't like really describe it now, but I really love this, like this art, all of this, even like how it's reflected on the ground there, like how it's every art, like every piece of art's like connected to the land there. So thank you for this, and thank you for all this day. And I want to say something more, like that the first thing we like before I came here, like I have a lot of things like, but I don't have hopes. I don't have like I can't think about the future like for 3 days more like until I have this offer from Sussex University, and I think it's something like will be fast because it's so hard. It's like this like a long journey, and then political thing we can't go like just go through. Then that I need like an English exam, so I had to then go. They like make it easy for us. Like they give us like 3 exams, AP exams, and I have unconditional offer now. So we are. I'm thinking about the fund, and there's like Zahid and like cooperate with other stuff. They are like giving me like, oh, we have a scholarship. Can take it? Yeah, of course I will take it. So then there's like the main problem, how we can get off from Gaza.
Yeah.
So we don't have any idea. We just like have an unconditional offer with scholarship, but we don't know how to get up because there is no cross border, no anything like. And then, of course, that I will give him all the credit for all this. He's like the idol here. If for me and every student like here, all time we see Zahid have all the credit here and the stuff and the like people who work there. So they contact us, the FCBO, that we will evacuate from Gaza like on 24th November. So it's something even I can't imagine. Like I can't believe that I'm one day I will get out from this genocide in this place. So 24th we went to this place, and it's true like because I haven't been there. Like I'm during the evacuation process, and I can't imagine that I'm who to tell this. And just thinking all the time, all like who take this effort to take us like all from Gaza. We have like for the UK, like we have like 9 students. I'm the only one in Sussex here. So even when I like get through this and I just been in new life and new change, it's like a life chance. Doing my masters in the UK, the supply chains. It's my vision. I want to make something for my people. So we have supplies, chains, and my whole project's about how to feed conflict zone and this thing. So I just being here and came starting my studies, and I can't like sometimes I lose sense of days, and because I think that this is all like just a dream, and I'm dreaming now like in a nap or something. So when I came, like all that thing, it's not connected together, but at the same times, I feel like I'm alive again. Who did all this? And all time, I will give him the credit for this. he's, he's doing everything for us. Even when we are here, he helping us like moving forward in the life and finding a chance and this thing, and even invites us to events like this. We will know like about this event, but then it done. So it's amazing. I love this day. I mean, this is even like I want to contribute more in this event and this thing. So thank you all for this, and we'll see. Yeah.
Well, this we could.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Sadiq. I'm a professor at Sussex University and also associate dean for the faculty. So I had a lot of responsibilities in that area, and I'm very passionate about education and students. I'm an educator myself. So when we started teaching Palestine, that was about a year and a half ago, we got in touch with students who are fantastic writers. I mean, they're not professional writers, they write really well. And after putting a call out to the students who are going through displacement and various conflicts, and they're in the middle of conflict zone, like you say, and it was a very difficult time. Luckily, they responded well, and they sent me their writing. We had about 100 pieces of writings come to me through WhatsApp. So that's the logistical challenge. It was all done WhatsApp. They lost their laptops. They don't have computers. It was all done on WhatsApp. A lot of the students would write it down on a piece of paper, and they'll take a picture and send it to me. Then I'll send it back to them and say, I would like it typed up somewhere. And they'll actually take the time to type it up as a message sometimes, or on their notebook, on there which is an app. So the Samsung or Android phones, as iPhones, and smartphones, and they'll send me that as a copy and paste. Majority of the writings are originally written in Arabic, and then they will translate it for me, and they'll send me both English and Arabic. Now I don't speak Arabic, I don't read Arabic. So when I receive the English one, I would edit it myself, and I would send it to Arabic speakers and say, hey, look at the Arabic and tell me if it makes sense with the translations. And I think, one of the things I found out, the messaging, content writing was so good that even the Arabic speakers told me, actually, this is fantastic. Even actually, Arabic is better than English, but they're very close. Okay. It makes sense. Part of So, yeah. That's another big challenge was, where do you store it? How do you share it? How do you proofread it? Because all the things you have to do is send it back to the authors to make sure it's written in a way that they're happy with. So, Google Drive, I use Google Doc, I use WhatsApp to communicate with them. And often students would not respond to me for days because they don't have connection. That will delay the process, but a bit of patience helps. Yeah, so a lot of students actually told me that they wrote a piece, but because of displacement and bombardment, they lost it. So they would take their timing and rewrite it and send it to me. So a lot of challenges there. But I think overall it was a success because the students, who are the authors of the book, were so driven and so motivated to complete it and have it as a book that even I will receive a piece at 3 a.m. Gaza time and 1 a.m. our time, UK time, but they would do it. But yeah, so despite challenges, it was a success, I think. And this exhibition is a fantastic place for local people there to see the work of the students, whether it's arts, whether it's the writings, usual. And that was the whole purpose. The whole point of this book, this project, was to get their voices out to the people of the world, globally. And that's why we have a book now published in 3 languages: English, German, and French. and we are currently in the process of publishing the Arabic one, by the way, and Spanish. And there'll be an Italian one in a couple of months' time. We'll have 6 different versions coming up soon. We're also exploring publishing it in India and also in Bangladesh in different languages. And again, the purpose is get the voices out as far as we possibly can. And this exhibition is an example, at least a quite exemplary setup to do that exactly. A lot of people are coming, they're reading about it, they're getting to know about the students, about the real experience in their life. And one thing I must say, the book, the writings are raw, unedited writings of the students. It wasn't taken and polished and sent them back. It was really the moment they wrote it, from the experience, the losses, their sufferings, and it was preserved exactly as it was written. So I think that's what makes the book powerful. That's what makes the project powerful. These paintings and drawings powerful. And the fact that the local artists in Sussex engaged with the book and produced this artistic drawing, I have to thank them because their drawings are fantastic, and it really shows that they care, and that means a lot to them, to our students enough. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name's Emma Donovan, and I am the exhibitions manager here at Gallery North, along with the original founder, Jenny West. Gallery North is a not-for-profit art gallery and exhibition space, and we hold a number of exhibitions every year, working with the local community in Sussex and beyond. Okay, so we first heard about We Are Still Here project back in the autumn of 2025. And I received an email from James from the University of Sussex asking if Gallery North would consider exhibiting poetry. And we found out about it, we did some research, and we had lots of meetings, but we were ultimately really delighted to be able to offer and host the gallery space for the work. We had lots of conversations, and the more we found out about the project, the more we understood. It just made really good sense to us that Gallery North should be used as a venue. We are a community-based art centre, a gallery, and that means that we can exhibit work from all over. And obviously we are very tied to our local community, but that also includes people from outside and international. And we were really delighted to be able to offer that to support the work that they are doing. So after we found out about the project and that we would be having the poetry on display, or a selection of the poetry from the anthology on display, I had an idea that we work with a lot of artists who exhibit with us, that we could ask a selection of them who work with us on an ongoing basis to see if they would like to exhibit and create work in response to the poetry. And that made for a really interesting display of work. A number of the artists were really, really keen, and so we got in touch with them just before Christmas, sent them a copy of the anthology, and they then created work in direct response. And with a number of them were very touched by just one poem, but a number of them just created work in response to the entire anthology. So we had a selection of 2D and 3D based work across lots of different mediums, textiles, oils, drawing, and we're just really thrilled with the work that they created in response, and it sits beautifully with the poetry, and it makes for a really powerful display.
That's amazing. And was it your brainchild, the whole conceptualization, or was it teamwork with other stakeholders, Zahir, James? How did you all work together to put something like this together?
Yes, so it's been a real collaboration, the project. We obviously worked very closely with James, and then at a later stage with Zahid, and they were able to tell us what was going on, the communications that they had with the students, I think the work in the anthology, it speaks for itself, but taking work outside of that anthology and having it on walls in an art gallery makes those voices even louder, and it caused, a sense of urgency. The response has been incredible from the people that have come and seen it, and we've been really overwhelmed by the number of visitors and their responses. Obviously, many really visibly moved by it. So yeah, it's been we're able to lend our expertise from working with artists and putting on regular exhibitions here from a visual arts perspective. But then obviously James and Zahid with the communications, they help with the students. The work that's here, really wonderful collaborative team effort. So the exhibition opened on the 14th of February and it closes on the 21st of March. We get a number of visitors that are very local, Helsham based, East Sussex based, but I know for sure that we have had a number of people from further afield who have heard about the exhibition. A number of people have come from Brighton, from West Sussex, people that have come down from London, Surrey, Hampshire. So I think the combined connections and also the artists that we work with, they've got their own networks and their connections. So everybody, between us all, we've been spreading the message far and wide. And we've had local press support as well. The people that visited, it's been overwhelmingly positive. A number of people have been visibly really upset, really moved by it. Understandably, it's hard hitting, it's heartbreaking, but there is also immense positivity in the fact that overcoming adversity, messages of resilience and hope. I know that a number of people have been very angry or in their own feelings of being helpless. So I think being able to have a space where people can reveal, can say those things, and can voice their sadness, but their anger at what is going on with the state of the world has been really profound. I think for us, we're all volunteers that work here. Many of us are artists as well, and it's been a real privilege to have the space open for those conversations and ultimately for the words of the students.
So my name's Sarah Lawson, and this is my piece that I've submitted. It's called War versus Hope. It was an immediate direct response to reading the anthology, which actually was the most challenging thing about this project, was reading the real life experience of people in war. However, within that was a real sense of hope and resilience and connection and community. And that was something that I really wanted to portray. I usually work in a very abstract form based on sound, and it's all to do with feelings and shapes. However, the anthology gave me such strong kind of imagery. Certain sentences really stood out to me. So this is taken from a range of different entries within the anthology, and I chose 16 that kind of were the strongest to me in terms of what pictures they were creating. And one of the things I found really interesting was when this one relates to silence, was how within war there is actually deathly silence in between the horrosity of what's happening. And there was a real sense of kind of love, family and resilience within the anthology as well. So I kind of wanted these to represent almost like vintage tablecloths that were laid out in the respect of trying to bring families together. But I was so honoured to be a part of the show. It's really important to me as an artist to have a voice, and the anthology is the reality. What we see in the media here in the Western world does not reflect the reality of what's happening. And just hearing things, people trying to continue to study, people having babies, people sitting on top of derelict buildings trying to get internet connections so that they can do their university studies. It's the normality of life that they're trying to maintain within this chaos that I found really interesting.
That's amazing. And what is one thing that you'd want people to take away from your art? One thing that perhaps you'd like somebody like me who is not aware of art, perhaps, but who is passionate about Palestine, the cause. What would you like them to understand or take away from your art? Is there anything?
Hope.
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 Yeah.
That the world is constantly unstable and we feel quite powerless as individuals, yet collectively, when we come together to do a collaborative exhibition to try and raise awareness. But in particular, the strength of humanity is far stronger than the kind of machinery of war. And the theme of resilience within the anthology, I'm hoping comes through the art that there is always hope.